Hello, Exile. We're continuing our adventures in the League. As you may remember, last time I started farming Svalinn, since its price had already climbed past 60 divine orbs. I had some experience with this from the last League on SSF, where I had to run over 600 maps and kill more than 15 bosses to finally get the shield. So I figured, with all the new Atlas passives and scarabs, this time it would be much easier and faster. But I was very wrong. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, let's start from the beginning. Svalinn drops from the Black Knight, who can randomly replace Verisium ore on your map. So, the main goal is to get as many attempts as possible. For this we take all the points in the Atlas for the chance of ore spawning, increase the chance of Verisium ore appearing, a passive that increases the chance of at least 2 ores appearing, as well as the chance of a rarer ore appearing. This gives a 100% chance to spawn ore on the map, a high chance for 2 ore nodes, and an increased probability of Verisium specifically. The rest of the tree didn't matter much, I just wanted to rush through maps. On average, each run took about 40 seconds, and I can do an average 90 maps per hour. Of course, I wasn't able to maintain that pace non-stop. I also had to stop to buy maps and scarabs, so in total, it took me around 2 days to complete 1000 maps. Based on my last League experience, I expected to get the shield within 500 maps, especially since this time we have twice the ore. So, I thought it would be a quick grind, just a few hours at most. I used Strand as my map of choice. It's probably the best layout for spotting ores without missing them as you run through. The cost per map broke down like this: 5 Chaos Orbs per Strand map, 2 Kalguran Scarabs, 3 Chaos for both, and Settler's modifier on the map device for 3 Chaos. Approximately 11 Chaos per map. Of course I did try to buy everything cheaper, and often succeeded. On each map, I also killed mercenaries, they often dropped some extra currency. So I estimated that, worst case, I'd spend around 30 divine orbs and walk away with at least 1 shield and tons of ore. It sounded like a great deal, but things didn't go as planned. To do all this quickly, of course, I needed a fast and reliable build. Luckily, my Smite champion was perfect for the task. So, how did it go?
Satisfactory. Until next time, warrior. I can truly fight. Partake of this bounty. I can truly fight. Until next time, warrior. I'm finally starting to enjoy of this bounty.
In total, I ran over 1000 maps. I kept track using Screaming Invitations. I had 36, and each one takes 28 maps to unlock. That gives us 1008 maps. Sometimes when you skip mobs, the Eater of Worlds progress doesn't count. And sometimes, I just forgot to kill the boss once the bar was full. So the map was clearly more than 1000 and less than 1100. Here's loot from those 36 Eater bosses, a decent haul, especially if you don't open the Forbidden Flesh. But of course, I opened them anyway. But back to Svalinn. During the grind, more than 30 bosses, 33 or 34 to be exact. That's about 1 every 30 maps, although it varied a lot. Sometimes I wouldn't see him for 100 maps, other times he showed up back to back. Now, if the drop chance for Svalinn is 5 or 10%, I expect I will get at least 1. But no, the game played a cruel joke on me. I didn't get a single shield. I was seriously disappointed. 2 full days of grinding, and nothing to show for it. I even asked a few other players who sell the shield how many tries it took them, and most said they got it randomly, without even targeting the boss. Of course, I didn't end up in the negative overall. Mercenaries and a couple of lucky drops helped me break even, but I got nothing in total. At least I collected around 500,000 bismuth ore, since it doesn't take extra time to grab and is useful later. Still, I was frustrated by the wasted time. So, I tried switching focus to Uber Exarch in hopes of getting better gloves for champion. What I didn't know was that in this patch the drop rate for those gloves is now extremely low, and I ended up spending all my remaining currency on the Exarch. By the way, I really hate this.
The fires of 1,000 suns.
Even if I learned to dodge these balls quite well, my mercenary did not have enough intelligence to not collect all the balls. So, with my stash down to 0, I needed a break. I farmed some fresh maps to earn a bit of currency and started planning a new build, but that's for the next video. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and comment. See you in the next one, Exile.